Hey, what's up, people? Today I'm going to give you 5 reasons. Oh, by the way, I'm John Astrab. Thanks for tuning into my channel. Today I'm going to give you 5 reasons not to sell Amazon FBA private label, okay? Stay tuned. Welcome back. You've only been gone for 3 seconds, but welcome back. So today I'm going to give you 5 reasons why not to sell on Amazon private label FBA, and then I'm going to give you the method, the teaser to the method about how to get around most of those problems, okay? So number 1 reason, I'm going to jump right that F into it. Number 1 reason not to sell private label on Amazon FBA is competition. The competition now on Amazon is fearsome. I mean, it is just crazy. Everyone in the last few years, everyone and their brother has jumped on there, and the competition is immense. So I don't care what kind of obscure product you have. If you put it on there and you do the search at the bottom, there will be 90 pages of 15 listings per page for whatever purple thumbtacks. So competition, compared to, let's say, 3 or 4 years ago, the competition has gone up 100-fold. So it takes a lot to get first page. I'm not saying it's not doable, but it's tough. It's not easy like it used to be. It's tough. Especially now, it's really hard to get reviews. So it's all stacked against you. So number 1 is the competition. Reason number 2 is the Chinese, okay? God bless the Chinese. 95% of the stuff sold on Amazon comes from China, and also 95% of all the nonsense that happens on Amazon comes from China as well. I've had my listings hacked by, I'm assuming, by Chinese sellers. I've had other sellers. I've had my supplier, which I couldn't prove, but had a product that I had made specially, listed it on Amazon, started doing well, and all of a sudden there's another seller on my listing. What? How can that be? Because the Chinese suppliers know who you are, they know you're selling on Amazon, they follow it, and if it starts to take off, that's it. They're in, and they're going to be able to undercut you by 50%. So Chinese, like I said, they have a different set of what, let's say, their ethics are a little different. They don't have the same sense of loyalty. At least I haven't found that to their customers like American companies do, and they'll jump on your listing in a second. Okay, so that's reason number 2. Reason number 3, and this is probably the most serious reason, is liability. You are legally liable. You're liable for taxes. So you have to have. Amazon requires you to have $1 million of product liability and general liability. So it's a requirement already, $1 million minimum, and they're going to start looking for certificates after the first. So that's going to wipe out. It's expensive too. I mean, it's going to be a couple $1,000s a year to get the proper insurance, and depending on what your niche is, if you're selling anything sharp, knives, or anything that could potentially hurt somebody, your product liability insurance is going to be expensive. I mean, if you're selling socks, not so much, but Amazon doesn't care what you're selling. You have to have $1 million worth of product liability. And also, one requirement that I think you should have a separate legal entity. You should have an LLC at the very least set up and do business, be registered with Amazon under the name of the LLC. If you do it under your own personal name, you're crazy. I mean, you're just selling physical products is a real business, and physical products have real consequences in the physical world that you are responsible for. Amazon, Amazon sells it and fulfills it, but you are the seller of record. So you're legally liable, and you're also liable for any taxes: state sales tax, state income tax, federal income tax. So that's all on you. Okay, it's a real business. You have to, at the very least, treat it like a real business, and you have to keep records in case you get audited. So I'm just telling you, it's a real business. You can't just jump on there and sell some stuff. You really have to protect yourself, and you have to keep records. Okay. Reason number 4 is cash flow. It is, private label FBA Amazon is probably one of the worst cash model models that I've ever seen in my life. You have to pay for your goods completely before they ever leave the dock in China. So this stuff is paid for and it's still freaking in China. I mean, I have stuff that comes over by sea, so it's a 30% deposit, then you pay for the rest of it before it leaves the port, and then it's on the ocean. I'm on the East Coast, it's on the ocean for 35 days. It gets to customs, that's another 5 days to a week. By the time it gets to my warehouse, it's probably 50 days, and then I got to send it to Amazon. And if it's a new product, it takes a lot of traction. So it might be 6 months before you sell all of that. And then the whole reordering business. Oh, it's a pain in the ass. So anyway, so it's terrible cash flow wise. It's just the worst. Okay. And number 5, Amazon does not give a shit about you. They don't care about their sellers. If you're selling a guy and they put in a complaint that you sold something that was used, that should have been new, whether it was or not, they're going to shut your account down. They're going to suspend your account, and if you can't explain to them what the story is, you could be banned. So that is like I said, Jeff Bezos cares about the customer. Amazon cares about their customer, and they're their customers. They're not your customers. And any violation of terms of service puts your account in jeopardy. So, and there are a lot of things that you can't do as an Amazon seller. So, you have to be aware of that. And Amazon, as a third-party seller, Amazon tracks all your data. We're kind of like guinea pigs. We take the risk, we bring the stuff over, we develop the products, we bring the stuff over, we set up the listings, we sell the stuff. All the while Amazon's making money, but they're collecting data, and if it's really good, they'll take it over themselves. They'll find, they'll say, hey, we got this authenticity complaint, can we see the factory where you're getting this stuff? You have to show them the invoice of where you got it. You can make up a phony one, that's risky, but they want to see the invoice, and then all of a sudden it's on Amazon Basics. I mean, Jeff Bezos wants to rule the world, so he wants to own the factories in China. He probably wants to own the raw materials. He wants to own the factories. He wants to own the ships and the planes that bring it over to the United States. He already owns all the warehouses, and he's starting to own all the trucking. So he wants the whole vertical everywhere. From where they mine the raw materials to it lands into a consumer's house, he wants to own that whole chain of distribution. So you're just facilitating that whole thing. So Amazon is not your friend. In the end, they're your competitor. So they don't love sellers. But you know what they do love? They don't love sellers, but they love brands. Okay, so and they especially love big brands, but they love little brands too, but they love good brands, and that is your way around everything. You have to start with a brand, okay? You can't start with just throwing crap up, just doesn't work. You can't do that anymore. It doesn't work. Those days are over where you just throw a knockoff of the dreaded garlic press. You can't just buy a garlic press and sell it on Amazon. It's impossible now. It's almost impossible. So you have to start with a brand. I don't know why I'm doing this. It's not a brand, it's a brand. You have to start with a brand and then go that way, okay? Start with the brand, not the other way, not throw stuff up there and then come up with a brand. So on my next series of videos, I'm going to show you how to find a niche, how to find a brand, and how to find products. And this is all, you can all do this with very little or no money. And then once you are sure, then you can start putting some money, you can start making some money, and you can start putting money out for real physical products. So stay tuned for my next videos. I'm going to show you how to sell private label products the right way, and Amazon's going to be your bitch. Jeff Bezos is going to be your little bitch, okay? Not the other way around. All right? That's my promise to you. And remember, it's right in front of you. Make it real. Cheers.